Bravo 26 Fox, Bravo 26 Fox, November 01.
The enemy will never expect them to come through the swamp. That's why on a cold spring day, these Army Ranger students are moving out on the Yellow River. It's the most notorious training mission at a school only 50% of students manage to finish. They call it the Weaver, after one of the rivers running through the Eglin Reservation.
Usually this time of year when the water's in the low 50s, I mean, it's cold enough to take your breath away.
The water and air temperatures are within safety parameters, but they are far from comfortable. Once the students move into the swamp, it gets colder and wetter.
It's uneven terrain, it's muddy. You can't walk in a straight line.
And for 250 meters, you never know if the ground beneath your feet is solid. It's immediately obvious why ranger instructors carry walking sticks.
We have a loom tape at roughly knee height, another set at waist height, and a piece at chest height. And these markings are used for us to test the depth of the water.
This far into ranger school, neither indignity nor discomfort registers much of a reaction. The students have been pushed to the edge for almost 61 days.
Their bodies are broke right now. Physically, they're ran down. Mentally, they're ran down. Now they've shifted to learn that this is a mental game, if you will.
They drag themselves out of the muck, loaded down with weapons and equipment. I borrowed a rucksack to see what it feels like.
This is heavy, probably what, 70, 80 pounds. Once it gets waterlogged, it adds 20 more pounds to that. Sometimes the water stays in there if it wasn't waterproofed properly, and that soldier's carrying that ruck the rest of the night and the rest of the op.
The swamp movement has only taken them part way to their objective.
But as they come up, the first ranger will come up to right here and he'll begin to establish a perimeter in the high ground. So he'll set maybe his 240 somewhere where it can shoot because it's his most casualty producing weapon in the platoon. He'll start in placing various members when they come up.
It will be another long, sleepless night.
The Rangers, when they're in the field, are always on 50% security. At least one man is always watching out, making sure they're watching for an enemy attack. Because we found historically that the two times the enemy can attack is when he's ready and when you're not.
At Camp Rudder, Laura Hussey, Channel 3 News.
For over 45 days, these ranger students getting ready to go into the swamp have been living on little food and even less sleep. Most people lose 25 pounds while they're here, and these guys have been averaging 4 hours a night in 30-minute increments.
Rangers in general are, do more than what the average soldier will do.
They don't quit, not when they're tired, hungry, cold, wet, or all of the above. To drive on is the Ranger way, but in 1995, 4 students died of hypothermia during the swamp training mission known as the Weaver.
Bravo 26 Fox, Bravo 26 Fox, November 01.
Now, dozens of people work behind the curtain of the exercise, implementing strict safety guidelines.
We have criteria based on air temperature and water temperature, how long students can stay submerged at certain depths.
Students' physical conditions are evaluated daily by their instructors.
All right, everybody, oars in the water.
Downriver, there are 3 safety boats and a dive team the students never see.
We also have 2 helicopters and 2 ambulances on standby, and we're also monitoring the weather.
You guys got anything coming over us the next hour?
With the weather clearing, Ranger students pass under Broxton's Bridge on the Yellow River. In the past, the words "no-go" inscribed on a piling there determined whether or not they'd move on into the swamp.
If it's above the white chalk line and you can't see no-go completely, you would not do the mission.
That method has been replaced by precise checks of water level markers. The tides are closely watched too because they can rapidly change water levels in the swamp.
It's from, when you walk through and it's knee deep and it's kind of an easy walk to now there's places where you're holding on to trees to make sure you can walk through the holes because it's up above your waist.
The day before the mission, senior leaders proof the lane, walking the same path the students will take.
See, that looks like it's firm, and that's exactly what we'll test at, so a Ranger could walk through there with no issue.
They'll make sure the mission is as safe as it can be. But that doesn't mean it will be easy. Easy doesn't make a Ranger.
Not exactly a picture-perfect way to exit.
At Camp Rudder, Laura Hussey, Channel 3 News.